Put the return on CJ.
Just laying up that serve again.
Oh, yeah,
just guide and steer.
Freaking lays it in there. Jame working that inside out.
Yeah, notice how he'll play a little bit off the line at times to give himself more time to be able to create.
There's one.
Stays right in there, though. I like it.
Stays in the pocket. That's the first time this match that we've seen him take some offense out of the air with the flicker. Run through that again. Put the return on CJ. Kind of just guides and steers the drop. Give himself plenty of time. And CJ just took a dink from his hip and did not speed up. So we're definitely taking note of that. K-Mac, tell me. I know we've talked about this plenty. Why do you like against Ben for the person on the left to kind of use that inside out dink? Or sorry, use the inside. Well, yeah, just use a forehand and use topspin against his slice.
Yeah, I think, it's just Ben's not going to miss a slice, but 1 out of 100, right? And he's able to keep that so low, and he really wants you to have to change that pattern. And it's really tough to attack when he's able to keep that slice so low. So if you can run around, or if you can just roll your two-handed, that works as well. But if you can go topspin to Ben's backhand, it forces him to half volley a little bit, forces him to lift, put more air under the ball. And you don't want to dink too long with the Johns brothers. So when he puts a little more air under the ball, it gives you the ability to dictate, maybe sink your teeth into an attack. But without doing that, by going just slice to slice with him, it's so tough to attack from that position from so low. And that's really the pattern it seems like they want to play with teams.
Okay, 4-4-2 here. A little pace on the serve. Drop. Looks like CJ tries to speed. He doesn't like to speed a whole lot, and he really likes to kind of sell it with that loop.
Yeah, he just speeds once in a while, and because he's so patient, I feel like that enhances the times where he does attack, but didn't really have a positional advantage there. I know that you had just dropped. You were a little bit off the line, but didn't want to attack cross court, and it looked like Jame was in a good position for that counter, so probably forced CJ to go for a little bit too much, which isn't really his game, and probably why you guys earned the error there.
Okay, we call that Gen 3 power right there, baby.
And real quick too, this is a couple times that we've seen that. I think, it's an instinctive play from Tyson, to want to find a forehand here. But when he does, what I love about this is Jame doesn't go behind him. He takes a step in front of Tyson. You guys both know that more than likely you're driving at CJ. And by Jame allowing you to take that with your forehand, because he's already on the left side, he can line up his body right in front of the ball. If conversely you left that for him, and Jame has a great forehand, it would be harder from you coming from the right to really get in front of where CJ is. So I thought this was a really important play that you guys used, that anytime that you were able to slide over and be the driver, even if you kind of hogged the middle, it allowed there to be more of a presence of the poacher of Jamwe just because of the geometry.
Yeah, and I think something to touch on as well is like when I am playing the right and we're stacking, probably a better time for me to take that forehand in the middle versus, Jame serving on the left and the return coming middle. So I can just kind of stay put here, stay home, sit. And K-Mac, you kind of touched on this, but yeah, just that little element of presence of, driving in front of Jame disconnecting there, putting a little pressure on CJ. Maybe CJ's looking at things he doesn't have control of, which is Jame moving in. But, if that works at the highest level, it definitely works at all levels. So something to note there.
And you guys are in like full I formation here. And when you think about it, what you're giving up is you're giving up maybe a volley further to the right side. But at the pro level, you guys are fast enough to get there if it's not a complete shank. So really, you're not giving up a whole lot that they could exploit in that temporary I formation.
Okay, drop that cross.
Again, dinking behind Ben once in a while.
There we go. About time I freaking went a hand battle, right? Okay. All right, drop this puppy cross. Jame does a good job of disconnecting. He trusts my drop. Dink back behind. Keep him honest. Ben has a little bait to work with. I'm kind of sitting. I have some time to work with. Slide to the right. You take a look at any right side specialist. And or you take a look at anybody who just counters well on the right. You know, Ben, and not gonna lie, I counter better on the right when it's a forehand coming through me than I do seeing the backhand. The forehand, you know, if Ben goes middle, Jame's there. And I really don't have to guard the forehand. Like if we kind of dink towards that inside foot of Ben, yeah, if he goes at Jame's kind of sitting, whether it's through his body or he's sitting middle, or Ben yanks that thing at me cross, I'm sliding in like trusting the backhand side. Versus if Benny's hitting a backhand flick, you know, he can find the forehand, but it just adds that element of me kind of opening up the forehand. So it's just a little easier, really can't backhand when he's speeding up with his forehand, not cross court, but more like inside in through me.
Yeah, I really think it makes sense against a lot of players if they have a really capable backhand attack to go to the forehand, go to that inside foot for exactly what you're talking about, just because it simplifies the coverage for the volleyer to just completely trust the backhand. And Tyson, would you mind showing that just one more time? I just wanted to kind of point out something that I think you do instinctively here. So you look at a couple of the dinks that Tyson hits right before the attack. He's a little bit off the line as he plays the dinks, but as he feels that the dinks get down, so we'll see one hit a little bit here. He's off the line. He feels that dink gets down, he repositions up at the line. But then when he pops it up, if you notice, so you repositioned when you felt like you got your dink down, but when you left it a little high, you were aware of where you were at on the court. So you're anticipating that attack, want to buy yourself that extra time already being off the line. And had you repositioned there, it would have taken your time away. You probably wouldn't have been able to get on top of that counter. So I think it's great to understand where we're at on the court. When we're off the line, if you hit one that you don't fully trust, don't get back up on the line. Stay right there. It's going to give you more options once that attack comes towards you.
K-Mac, the old push and lean and lift and sag.
You know, or just pop up and stay, I guess.
Right. Yeah, right.